get y'all as much as I can before the
No, reverse engineer death. So when you die, I mean, a lot of people, they have a 60-year plan. It's like, what? And by the way, they had not put 1 year into it, and they 35.
Good luck.
What you now? Obviously, I don't wish death on you early,
Right.
but 90, you way above the average living to 95, right? You usually, people will get mad when you say they're approaching middle age in their 30s, but the average age people die is 80, and so half of 80 or the middle of 80 is 40. So by definition, if you're in your 30s, you're approaching middle age because the middle age is 40. But no, reverse engineer your death. So I do my best to, and this is general investing numbers, how much money you should have saved. That's anywhere from a 20 to 40 year, time period of consistently investing, usually on the 40-year side, maybe 30, but usually on the 40-year side because
Gotcha.
have more money for that. But again, hopefully our age, right? We have 40 years now. Here we go. See, I can't talk about it without saying it. The RMD, required minimum distribution age, meaning once you hit this age, you are required to take a minimum distribution out of your 401k. Mm-hmm. It was 70 and a half. Y'all should be happy Trump did this. It won't affect millennials, so it'll probably be increased. But it's now 72. So you can leave money sitting in a 401k until you're 72. And then once you turn 72, you're required to take a certain amount of money out. That's different for each person. It's a formula for it, but it's not like a fixed amount that everyone has to take out.
Gotcha.
But you have to take out that money. So again, 40 years, right? 72 minus 40 is, come on, Jordan.
72 minus 40 is 32.
32, right. Now, remember when I said this is why you have to have things figured out by the time you're 30? When it comes to an investing standpoint, most people are going to be investing in their 401k to get their $1 million in retirement. So if you start that after 32, or say 30 in this example,
right,
you're not going to have, it's not going to be an even 40-year timeline, because at some point, and now for millennials, it'll probably be increasing. I mean, we have 40 years till we turn 70.
Right. Exactly.
So I would assume, but it's probably not going to be 80, but I was trying to figure out how often they changed it. I couldn't figure out, how the frequency was.
Right.
But, you need to have a good 40 years worth of growth. And so that's what we're going to figure out, how much money we have. And like I said, I'll do what y'all say. Boom. If you were to invest 15% of your pre-tax income for 40 years, usually I do 6% because that's like the worst case scenario you can get. But it's usually you want to get at least 10% for your rate of return.
Gotcha. And,
you see what that number is. And then the question is that enough, right? Which it is if it's 15%. If you're investing 15% for 40 years and getting at least 10%, that'll be enough money for you. And then the question is, do you want more than that? If you want more, yes, right, then you have to invest more. Then, as Jordan said, I don't want to touch my first $1 billion at 59 and a half. Okay, now as I told him, you must start a business, and now FinallyFit exists. So if you want to, that's the next. And we're working on this obviously before you buy the home, and that's what I do. I do like the long scale planning of everything, get everybody's long term goals, and I start working with them.
The big picture.
Yeah, the big picture. So I can see in the short term, make sure I'm putting you on the right track to get to where you want to be in the long term.
Right.
But yeah, reverse engineer your death. Figure out where you want to be. I mean, I'm sorry, but when you die, how do you want your portfolio and not just your retirement investment as far as 401k, but how do you want your retirement to be set up? Do you want to be someone who just wants to have distribution from the 401k? Do you want to get into real estate and have, rental properties and have that income coming in? Do you want to have a business where the money's coming out? So, excuse me, I didn't even eat anything like that. All those different things come into play as far as the next steps and priorities from a financial standpoint after you buy a house. We're going to, as I said, we're in the first phase of the final stage. This is it. Once you get to building wealth and generational wealth, there's nothing else after that but death. That's the end, because that's the end of it.
Trying to build up these steps, man. Trying to get there.
No, look, when investing's so much fun. We're at the end right now. Word to the AMC short squeeze. We got in late. I don't advise my clients to do things I wouldn't do, although I do give them information and let them, act accordingly. So I did tell the group and my clients, hey, AMC's at $13, it's supposed to go up 300%, which it did. So you might want to get in if you want to, but then Jordan and I didn't do that.
Yeah.
We're not.
It's okay.
Yeah, Jordan's there now. It's time we're gonna set it up, but now it's time for the invest. I'm not there at investing crazy like that yet. But yeah, that's what you would start doing.
Trying to stick to the plan, guys. You don't want to skip around. That's the thing, because as Cory said, once you hit this hold on, stage or phase. To say it one more time.
The last stage, you're in the first phase.
Thank you. First phase of the last stage, right? When you hit this, it sometimes, if you follow the plan up to this point, it becomes a lot easier to seem like you can skip around. Don't do that. Okay.
Right.
We're still stay disciplined.
Oh yeah, I'm about to say you got to stay disciplined.
Look, sustainable, not just from a fitness standpoint, sustainable lifestyle habit, even financially, fiscally, right? Because we are wealth conscious
and health conscious.
Okay.
We've switched that up.
Thank
yeah.
you. So we're still sticking to the plan, even though we've hit, you know what I mean, a major milestone for us. We're still sticking to the plan because again, remember we talked about that maintenance from the fitness side. Same thing with the finances, right? You don't do what it takes to get here and then stop doing it, right? Yeah. That's a recipe for disaster. We got to lock in and make sure we still, stick to the plan so we can get to the building well stage.
Right.
And our end goal.
Yeah, and the plan, just like the budget, it's flexible. So I was telling Jordan, like, things are going to change. Him and his wife won't have children. They don't have kids yet. So that's got to be inserted into the budget, right? So things are going to change, not subject to change. They're going to change. Again, shout out to the pandemic. That happened, right? So there's all these things that are going to happen that you're going to have to be prepared for. But yeah, after you buy the home, what's next? Figure out how you want to make your money. Capitalists over here, and I'm going to trying to figure out how to make as much money as possible, whether that's crypto, whether that's calls and puts, right? Options, whether that's individual stocks, whether that's funds, as in mutual funds, ETFs, index funds, whether that's real estate, whether that's starting a business. I think that's it.
All of the above.
I think that's it. Yeah, all the main ways.
Okay.
Yeah, all those options, figure it out. But then, got to be willing to put in the work.
Exactly.
So, I'd be tired, but this isn't our job, and we don't get paid for this yet. So
We're speaking into existence.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Look, we here.
Yeah. Who knows when we're starting getting paid off the podcast? We're getting paid from people listening to the podcast, and coming to us from what we do outside of it. But one day we'll make one like you. Like I got a client off the podcast, but not to make money on the podcast.
It's work.
It's work, yeah. But, yep, that's what you look for when it comes to buying a house. Financial steps after buying a house. When we get into investing, generational wealth, I'll just retouch on that again so I can dabble that in there.
Gotcha.
But, yeah, I'm going to have to make sure I put the sectors on that investment thing so I don't forget. But, yep, that's it. So, boom, finance segment is over. I almost forgot. See, finance, fitness, same word to me. All right, but did you have anything from a fitness standpoint or finance standpoint?
Stay disciplined, y'all. Keep working.
You're the hurdle.
Exactly.
You're the hurdle.
Don't be your own hurdle.
Don't be your own hurdle.
Okay.
Oh my God.
I think that's the word of the day.
Why is he whispering?
So lock in. Make sure you measure your progress, not just on the scale, but in all aspects, in all facets, right? So you just want to make sure you're measuring your progress. I think that's it from a fitness standpoint.
Yep.
I appreciate you answering my finance question.
Yeah, from a finance standpoint, it was all real estate today. At least have the emergency fund before you buy a home. I will not give on that. I don't give on student loans, I don't give on credit cards, and I do not give on buying a home without an emergency fund. I give a little bit on credit cards, student loans not at all. And I'm being very, very clear. Anyone takes out a student loan from this moment on, which is May 30th at 4:31 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, is a fool in my book until eternity.
You heard it here first, folks.
You can't have the student loans. You can't take them out. You can't take them out anymore. That's the issue. Student loans, here we go. Here I go. 2 hours in. I don't understand. Everyone knows the student loan situation is so bad. Yeah, y'all keep taking them out. It's like, no. All right, that's it for that.